Welcome to Can-Am Tier 3. We have drivers here today, 18 on the grid. We are driving in Monza. Ooh. Should be a fun one. I have some personal experience in Monza with league racing. So hopefully this is a fun and exciting race, one that leads to hopefully a lot of action, maybe some drama. I always love to see some drama. Last race, a Mr. This Red Panda 74 had won the Jeddah Grand Prix. I forget who came in P2, if I'm being completely honest. If I took 2 seconds, I could probably find out that information. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. I've had a lot on my plate recently. I've started to fill out college applications, and it's been a task, that's for sure. It was Riles in the Mercedes who came in P. No, that was for qualifying. That was Jonah in P2. Jonah in that Haas, from what I remember. Let's get our map depth up here. Whoa. What the fuck did I just say? I apologize. Let's get the track map and the lap data up. That'll be a Myrtle Turtle 22. That'll be out first. Looking very nice in that green Aston Martin. Okay, golden. Okay. And a little wide. Definitely have to keep an eye on that. Very, very easy to go wide there out of that corner. Myrtle Turtle and that Aston Martin going to be starting their lap. Now, should be very, very quick here. Lap time should be around the 120s. A little faster, a little slower, give or take. Myrtle Turtle through the first corner. That's always the trickiest because a very, very fast straight into a very heavy chicane. Into the little round section into Sector 2. Myrtle Turtle goes 26.799. Into Sector 2, another little tricky chicane there into, I think this might be a Scari. I could be very incorrect about that. I always forget where a Scari is. Into the DRS zone, Myrtle Turtle 22 goes. Going to be heading through this little sponsor board. Going to be kind of weaving over the track a little bit into one of my favorite parts of the section, because it's just a very fast kind of chicane. Into the long, no DRS straight, even though there 100% should be. And to Parabolica. And going to be onto the power, trying to get all the speed into the final little straight. 121 flat for Myrtle Turtle, and that is a full lap around Monza. Cabrito goes P2 with a 127.2. Speed goes 21.2 in that Alpine. Bala puts himself on provisional pole, 19.688 for Bala. Druid, it's 19.492, putting himself on provisional pole. Are we going to see another one from this Mercedes of 7? Not even on a lap. Henry Opstad on a lap. Flyer DJ also going to be on a lap. Going to be crossing the line next. 22 flat. Going P6 for him. As Notabot retires. Trey goes P6. 121.6. Henry 120.3 going P3. Looks like a Ryan into the pit lane. Icy got to be on a lap. Icy had a great run last week. What can he do though? 28.2 going P3 for Icy. Right behind his teammate. Very, very adorable. Panda 19.226 going P1 in that Williams. Several-time race winner. Blue Knight 408 in his Ferrari 21 flat going P7. Who else is on laps now? 752.84 as he crosses into Sector 3. Purple Sector 2 for him. Oh. I apologize for my yawning. It is past my bedtime. But I just need to get used to it on Tuesday nights. 7 in his Mercedes going to be pushing to the line. Maybe going to get a little bit of slipstream from this Haas. A Haas ahead, 19.2 going P2. Right behind Panda. About a 0.05 difference between the two drivers. Zizzer, 20.7 in his Alpine going P7. Boss going to be starting his lap. Q8 coming out of the pit lane behind him. Cake Sauber going to be doing something icy, pulling into the pit box. Panda also on an in-lap. Blue Knight going to be on an in-lap. Caden going to be on an out-lap. Jonah on a fast lap. But Boss, purple sector 1 for him. As he is heading into Sector 2, going to be very, very quick rounding these corners. Using all the track very nicely as we head into the near rest zone of Boss. Of Sector 2. It is not time for me. 53.6 after Sector 2. Heading into the very fast chicane, into the very flat out part. This V-Carb going to be trying to put himself on that pole position. He is showing so much pace right now. So can he do it? Unless I'm just getting lied to, which happens all the time because the game likes to do that apparently. 21.3 for that Boss going P12. It's Ryan going to be starting his fast lap very shortly. A little recap of qualifying right now. Red Panda sits on that provisional pole and that Williams 7 and that P2 for the Mercedes. Druid P3 and the McLaren Bala P4 for Red Bull. Jonah P5 as Panda sits faster lap 19 flat to increase his lead in that provisional pole. Jonah and that Haas 19.9 in P5. Icy for Red Bull, 20.2 in that P6. Henry Opstad, 20.3 in P7. Zizzer, P8 for the Alpine. Myrtle Turtle, 22 and 9 with the Aston. The 10th place is the Ferrari of Blue Knight, 408. Mini C Speed, 11 in the Alpine. Just that Boss, 00. P12 for the V-Carb. Trey, P13 for McLaren. Cabrito, P14 for Aston Martin. Flyer DJ, 15 for Kick. Nottabot had retired, and the Haas looking for Ryan, Caden, and Flowerboy D to be setting last. Ryan and validating. Caden going to be coming into Sector 2. Not going to be sitting a fastest Sector 1, but very, very fast Sector 1 time indeed. Gonna have a little bit of traffic from this Ferrari up ahead, but should not be the biggest deal in the world. Gonna be flat out through here. Maybe gonna be trying to get a little bit of a slipstream, potentially. Which can be so powerful, but can also, that dirty air can also affect you, especially in portions of the track like Parabolica. Although not very many high-speed corners, I think Parabolica might genuinely be the highest speed corner. So dirty air isn't the biggest issue around here. As Caden going to be heading into the pit lane instead of finishing his lap. Speed into the pit lane as well. That's Myrtle Turtle. It's going to be starting their lap now, 20.2. Would have been their lap if they didn't invalidate for that Aston Martin. Would have put themselves in around that P6 spot. as someone jumps up the grid. I think it was Cabrito. 2 seconds faster. 19.7 NP5. Very, very nice for that Aston Martin. Trey and the McLaren. Trey just got so unlucky in Jeddah from what I remember. So will be on the attack to maybe put himself into a better position today. Yeah, Trey qualified to P8 in qualifying for Jeddah. But unfortunately found himself in P15 during the race. Into Sector 2 for Trey. I don't think he's on a lap. I'm looking at it. I don't think he's on a lap. Whew. Jesus Christ. Jonah, 19.940. In that P6 for the Haas. Into the chicane, gonna be quick on the power out. I don't know if he's on a lap either. Total of 7 minutes left in qualifying. Jonah gonna be 2 tenths up as he heads into Sector 2, so Ride into the pit lane. Cabrito into the pit lane. Seven, and that Mercedes is going to be starting a lap. So the Druid might run into each other a little bit. Zizzer going to be starting his lap. Icy 4 tenths down as we join him, getting a little wide on Parabolica, but that's always fine. There's a million lines you can take through Parabolica. 19.7, putting himself in P5 for Mr. Icy. Caden, so many people starting laps, getting a very, very nice toe from that Ferrari. Caden's going to be really happy about that. We're going to watch him for a little bit. Just because that was such a nice toe. That kick-sauber going off into the gravel, allowing Caden to pass. Always very, very nice. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. So, no surprises there. 26.2 for Caden through that Sector 1, heading into Sector 2's chicane. Going to be heading out. That Mercedes, very, very nice. I feel like Mercedes is a very underappreciated livery since it's so plain, but it's so appealing to the eyeballs. Thank you, Drewski. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. 18.8 going that provisional pull and that Mercedes as we're actually watching his teammate setting purple Sector 2. Caden heading on to the little final straight before Parabolica. And to Parabolica taking a tight line as he heads to the start-finish line. 20.5 goes Caden for a P11. Hannah coming into the pit lane. Flyer Boy D going to be into the pit lane as well. 22.5 for a Flyer Boy D. Who is that? Alpine. Speed. 19.9 in that P7. Flyer DJ heading into the pit lane off the medium set of tires. Henry Obstad on a lap. What can he do here into Parabolica? Going to be trying to take a tighter line here. That number 77 is that. I'm trying to look at what his number is. 26.9, unable to improve, but he might be on a flyer now. Dude, let me just fucking... Sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss for Can-Am. Oh, it's 15. I'm just an idiot. I should hold back from using profanities. I apologize. Zizzer not able to improve his time. Caden going to be on an in lap. Speed not able to improve. I think he's on an in lap. Same with Boss. Blue Knight going to be swerving around, giving up on his lap. Ryan going to be setting a lap currently. Henry Opstad going to be 0.3 down as we join him in Sector 2. Heading through this straight is Andrew. Yeah, I think Panda has a very, very high chance of winning this here today. This Cake Sauber, a little bit of gravel on that car, making it a little dirty. Definitely a little interesting to look at, but Henry Opstad into Parabolica. Can he improve his time? This might be the last run this Cake Sauber is going to be able to get, and he just heads into the pit lane. Zizzer about even on his time into Parabolica as we join him on his lap. Can he find time? No, he cannot. Hello, Red Panda. Welcome, welcome. Druid going to be starting his lap very, very shortly. Jonah also going to be starting his lap. We're kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty. Cabrito on an out lap. Boss. Holy. No Toasty Cam for Can-Am streams. No text-to-speech for Can-Am streams because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I still don't know what my limitations are for this, if I'm being 100% honest. Flyer DJ. And that kick. Trey. On an out lap. Minute left in qualifying. So you still got time, but not a lot. Icy on an out lap. Is this Trey on an out lap? Trey is on an out lap. What about Druid? About 0.6 up. Live age reaction. That's so real. And his Google Chrome McLaren livery not going to be able to improve, I don't think. Bala on an out lap. He might be the last person to set a lap. Caden actually will. His teammate 7 on an out lap. What are they doing? Cabrito. Can he find time? He's going to have a little bit of traffic ahead of him, but this might give him a little bit of a slipstream. Oh, what is that Williams doing? Just did not get off the line. Cabrito into Parabolica. He got a little bit of a slipstream. But is the slipstream better than having to go around somebody? 19.7, barely improving. P5 for Cabrito. Henry Opstad going to be starting his lap. Speed. Ooh, Speed's going to be crossing the line just around that perfect time. No, he won't. Qualifying is over, so unfortunate for Speed. Not going to be able to set a lap. Ryan going to be 2 seconds down as we join him. What can he set? Ryan P13 with a 20.5. This is Flyer DJ not able to improve his time at all. So unfortunate. Trey going to be 0.2 down as we join him, going a little wide through Parabolica. Can he save it? Going to be taking a tighter line on the exit. What is he going to be doing? 20.3, not able to improve, so P9 for Trey. Here is ICK, P3 with a 19.3. Panda going to be maybe... Oh, as Panda invalidates his time. Not going to be able to improve. That will not be a pole position for him. So unfortunate. Bala, 16.6. Not, or 19.6, sorry. I don't think we'll be able to improve. Almost matches his time, it looks like. Caden into the pit lane. That is Myrtle Turtle 7, 19.7, putting P7 as all the times are going to be coming in. Henry Opstad going to be improving 19.83, P9 for him. Zizzer 20.4 and P12. Caden coming into the pits. Ryan 20.5. Blue Knight 21. Flat P15, Flyer DJ, and P17, Flyer Boy D. So this is our qualifying position. 7 will be in that P1 for the Mercedes, Red Panda, and P2 for the Williams. IC P3 for Red Bull, Druid P4, and that McLaren, Bala P5, and that Red Bull Cabrito. And Myrtle Turtle, 6-7 in the Astons, both of them. Jonah in that P8 for the Haas. Henry Hopstad, P9. And the Kick Sauber Speed in that in the Alpine. And P10, Trey, P11. And the McLaren Alpine Zizzer, P12. Caden in that Mercedes in P13. Ryan V-Carb in P14. Blue Knight. Ferrari, P15. Boss, P16 for the V-Carb, Flyer DJ, Kick Sauber, 17. Flowerboy D and the Ferrari in that, 18, and a Haas in the last place. I think, not a bot. This is qualifying, though. Yep. Very interesting to note here. Flyer DJ says lap on a set of mediums. Don't know what was going on there, but I'm gonna go grab an energy drink because I'm going to fall asleep if I don't. So I will be right back. I have returned with a drink in hand. Will have to give me a split second here. I need to pull something up on my monitor. Do apologize for the delay. Not that there's anything interesting happening anyways, but you never know. Alright, back to Monza. Looks a little bit overcast here, honestly. Oh. But I will have that later. I don't know if there's rain. I kind of hope there is, just because it would make for some exciting racing. But nope. Why would I be breaking your ears, Andrew? Alright. 24% chance of rain. I just spilt on myself a white shirt. Jesus Christ. Gosh dang it, dude. Yeah, so we definitely could see some rain here. Just not a very high chance of it. Does look a little overcast. Gonna have to see how people can handle that, though. Makes so much noise when I get in and out of my chair. Just getting spammed with chats. I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you, whoever just followed. I have reached a follower goal because of that. I didn't even know I had a follower goal. But thank you, because I have reached 50 followers. Thank you, each and every one of you. Alrighty, here we will be going. 19 people on the grid. Gonna be a fun fight for this P1 between 7, Red Panda, Icy Druid, and maybe Bala could be in there. Formation lap gonna be heading through as we wait and find out exactly everything that's gonna be going down. Race predictions. I want to look at tires first, and then we'll get some race predictions. Panda going to be going on the less aggressive strat. That's going to definitely bring up something that's going to be interesting is the strategy offset. Because theoretically, Panda, if he can stick with 7, he's going to just absolutely dominate the second stint. But there's another scenario where these mediums are going to have 20 times more grip at the start, and Panda is going to lose positions like crazy, and he's going to lose too much where the tire offset's not going to matter. And Cabrito's in the same boat, where if he can stick with Bala, I think he can do it. But Myrtle Turtle has a very, very high chance of passing him and not keeping Cabrito with him. I think everyone else kind of played a smarter role. I mean, some aggressive strategies here, but a lot of the hards in the back row. So, yeah, my official prediction. I think 7's gonna pull away. I think 7's gonna win. I think Panda's going to get P2. And I think we're going to see a Bala podium as Red Panda and Icy disqualify themselves by not parking correctly. Same with Cabrito and Myrtle Turtle. But now we'll be watching and waiting for the 5 red lights. Here we go. 5 red lights. And for the Temple of Speed, we go racing. 7 in that P1. Going to be trying to get a great launch off the start. Going to be hoping to do something here to put himself in a better advantage. Going to be watching and waiting. Not any carnage in the back. Oh, but there's a complete spun. McLaren spun. People cutting chicane. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. What are we doing? Oh, no. Oh, no. As Blue Knight just has to completely cut the first chicane. Oh, my goodness. But 7 going to be pulling away right now. Panda going to be struggling to keep with him already. 7 tenths. 8 tenths. Yellow flags in the back. For what? I don't know, but looking at this, Speed in that P3 up 7 positions, Jonah up 4 positions, Myrtle Turtle up 2, Bala down 1, Henry up 2, Boss up 8, Kaden up 4, Cabrito down 4, Zizzer going to be fighting for this 1, Nadaba up 7 off the start, Flyer DJ up 4, Flower Boy D up 4, And so many people just got completely ruined. Trey and then P15. Druid down 12. Blue Knight down 2. Ryan down 4. And Icy down 16. To put himself in last place, that Red Bull. Druid and his teammate going to be side by side in Parabolica. But Druid just gets the pole away, able to keep that position. Yeah, Ryan, the only person coming into the pits, definitely interesting, because it looks like there was a lot more carnage, and you would think that there would be a lot more people pulling into the pits, but apparently not. Yellow flags. Oh my goodness. I see, with the yellow flags, Panda, or Ryan, a new wing, but 7 gonna be leading the race still. Panda doing a great job to keep with 7 now on these hards. This is definitely going to help him carve the way for his race win if he can get it. That looks like someone off track. I think that was Druid off track and his McLaren going to be trying to maybe look for a move on the kick Sauber of Flyer DJ. He does have the DRS, while Flyer DJ doesn't. But that tire difference, that's especially what we're looking at right now. I mean, Druid just has so much more pace compared to the guy that's on hards right now. Panda with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Druid thought about going for a move there, but doesn't. 7 and Panda side by side. Panda going to be getting that position. Going to be leading their race for the first time. Jonah and Speed going to be swapping as Jonah gets into P3, and that Haas Bala going to be leading these mini little train here. Myrtle Turtle behind. Henry Opstead also there. Hayden trying to catch up. You can see him in his Mercedes. If he can catch up to this pack, he's going to be in great standings. You can see that time just dwindling away. If he can get the DRS here, that's going to be so beneficial for him. But Henry Opstead going to be struggling to keep with that pack here. I mean, he's going to be able to do it very easily. It's just a question of how long can he hold on. But Henry Hofstad going to have that DRS, which is going to help him. And Caden might just get left in the dust here. But here he is. He's going to be catching up. Can he burn here? Can he try to get within the DRS range? Not about going to be our first time penalty here. What happened to Panda? Panda, 2 seconds down on 7 now. So Panda's strategy just completely out the window all of a sudden. I don't know what it was. Might have been a big mistake that Panda had. 2 seconds up on his last time. So, I mean, Panda is just going to be struggling now. I mean, the whole thing that I was talking about was him trying to keep with 7. And that's just thrown out the window now. You can see this Alpine of Speed saving ERS. Jonah is on the hards while Speed is on the medium. So this is a very similar situation what's going on in the front runners between 7 and Panda, where it's just a tire offset where who is wanting to hold on. I mean, if Jonah can just keep this lead, he's going to have a much better chance at that podium. But Speed, with the tires, is going to have that advantage. He's going to be able to keep up. And, I mean, I just don't know. Speed is going to have so much of an advantage, and he's going to be looking for a podium here. Bala trying to defend off of Myrtle Turtle and Henry Opstad. This is the pack that we've been watching for a hot minute here. Myrtle Turtle and that Aston Martin going to be trying to get closer and closer. Let me switch to the tire differences because I want to look at this closer. So yeah, Henry Opstad on those hards is just getting such an advantage by being able to stick with these medium runners. He's going to have the DRS here. Myrtle Turtle is going to have the DRS. Are we going to maybe see a move for this P5? Is Myrtle Turtle going to be trying something? No, he's not. Instead, he's going to save that battery. And Henry Opstad is just going to get closer and closer. Yeah, looking... Oh, Druid getting by... Oh, that kick... Oh! Trey just completely spun. is going to be coming on track, but there's going to be a Red Bull of Icy that going to have to deal with a slow Aston. Hello, Exo Dave. Yeah, both Aston drivers having a great race so far. Cabrito kind of in this no man's land, though, as he goes off track. That's going to let Naudabot catch up in his Haas. I think Naudabot might be getting the DRS here, watching and waiting. No, he's not. Naudabot will not be. Oh, because the detection zone wasn't here yet. But yeah, Naudabot's going to have that DRS, going to have that advantage over Cabrito. But Naudabot with a 3-second time penalty. So that's just always something to look at. Looking back at the front, Red Panda has caught exponentially to 7. These tires on the mediums, if you're on controller, they do not last whatsoever. And that could be what's happening for 7, is that these tires are just not having it. Hello, Dave. To race in Tier 3, you're going to have to join the Can-Am Discord, not my Discord. Join the Can-Am Discord and send in an application. I just commentate here. I literally do not interact with Can-Am other than commentating. I'll go the avocado. Welcome, welcome. 7. You can see that lack of pace. I mean, he just completely, like, oh, that, I don't know if that's dirty air or if that's the tires just not having the pace. I mean, 7. He's going to lose that DRS, and I think that's just the win. I mean, looking, I know it's only lap 6, but as long as Panda doesn't make any big mistakes, wink, 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 I think he just has it in the bag. I mean, it's going to be really hard for 7 to make these tires have that advantage. But 7 out of nowhere, is he going to get the DRS? No, he's not. No, he's not. I thought he got so much, but it went all away. Speed in this Alpine as Boss gets a penalty. Here's Speed on Jonah. I think this is going to be that position. I think it's going to be, here he goes. Yeah, Speed and Jonah going to be side by side into turn 1. But Jonah backs out, letting Speed have the corner. Going to be letting Speed have that position. Going to have that P3. But here's the rest of this pack. Myrtle Turtle's leading now. Bala in that P6. Henry Opsad in P7. And Caden still struggling, trying on one team to hold on. Oh, there's a Haas and Naudabot. Going to be off track. Flyer DJ. Going to be getting by. Going to be getting that position. Yeah. Naudabot and Boss going to be side by side. Big tap for Naudabot as he hits into the side of Just a Boss. That might cause a little bit of damage to Just a Boss depending on the damage that we have it on, but doesn't look to be affecting him too bad. Naudabot going to be having that DRS just barely though, so he's going to be able to push and keep up with Just That Boss and Flyer DJ. But Naudabot, does he have damage, I wonder, because he seems to be struggling through that high-speed corner. No, he doesn't, so I don't know what the issue is there, as our first pit stop is Speed off of the mediums. What tire is he going to be coming on to? That is going to be another set of mediums. Panda has... Oh, Bala! Bala with a big fat penalty. Oh, jeez. Going to be losing the position to Henry Opstad still. So, Caden, the man that I've been talking about, wanting to hold on, wanting to get in. Oh, trying to fight Bala for that corner. Just doesn't quite have the speed, though. Who the... Yeah. I thought it was going to be one of those spam messages. Just checking. Here's Henry Opstad on Myrtle Turtle. These guys going to be fighting for this P4. Jonah has almost just about secured... Oh, there's the yellow flags! Yellow flags in the back! That is Icy spun on the chicane. Icy not having a great race. Icy Qualified what? P3, I'm pretty sure, and is now in P18 on the mediums. Big yikes. 7 going to be pulling into the pits to get off of these mediums. That's definitely going to be shaking up the field with Panda and how he does it. Myrtle Turtle with a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Just not what you want. He was running so well in that hack, and it's just so unfortunate to see him with that time penalty. Speed and Trey gonna be racing. Trey not having the DRS is gonna lose so much to speed. Oh Jesus, 7 tenths, 8 tenths into that 9 tenths. He's gonna be able to get some of that back through that corner, but wow, that was a little rough. Flyer DJ gonna be losing that position to 7 as he comes out of the pit. 7 on the fresh mediums is going to be so quick compared to these hard runners. He's going to be able to pull up a very big fat gap to Flyer DJ, and yeah, that gap's, I mean, he's already lost that DRS, and 7 with, watching Bosco off track, and 7 is just going to completely use that to his advantage to get by. Going to be going into that P10, so 7 going to be on the charge, looking to get back, trying to make this undercut work. He's going to have to do the 2-stopper. Yellow flags out for an Aston Martin of, I don't know who that is, Cabrito going to be going off track. He's going to lose so many positions. Yeah, 7 still on this charge. He's going to have the DRS here. You can hear it. He's not going to open it, though. What? Does he know he had DRS? 7 left the session! No! The man that I thought was on a charge, unfortunately having connection issues. I don't know if I have 7 added. Oh, so unfortunate for 7, who is just on a complete steam pile roll. You're so welcome. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but you're welcome. The Alpine of Zizzer not going to have the DRS, very surprisingly, but he is going to be getting so much on Bala. Bala on the 9-lap-old mediums, going to be struggling for pace, and I know that from personal experience, that it's going to be not fun being on those tires right now. The tires wear so quickly around here. Zizzer going to be struggling, wanting to get that DRS. It's going to give him the advantage on Bala as Henry offside pulls into the pit lane. So yeah, Zizzer going to be having that DRS, going to be on the charge, looking for Caden now. Caden is going to be really slow. He's going to have to really watch his tires. Those 10-lap-old mediums, those are not going to feel great in any capacity. And we might even see a couple of slips from him as everyone heads into the pits. Henry, Bala, Drew, and Notabot all into the pits to fit a new set of tires. Yeah, Caden in this Mercedes on the charge. Zizzer on the 10-lap-old hards. I mean, I think right now it's just a game of hoping that something happens. A late a safety car here would benefit Caden, it would benefit Zizzer, it'd benefit even Blue Knight. So many people that it would benefit here, and you can watch as Zizzer has to take this corner very cautiously because of those tires. So I can only imagine what someone like Caden is dealing with. Here's 7. I think he's back into the lobby now because he's on the charge. On Blue Knight, there's yellow flags out. I think that was for Cabrito in that last place spot, as I'm getting messaged apparently. Or something. Caden with a 10-second penalty for speeding in that pit lane. Zizzer also coming in. So very interesting that that's how that played out. I mean, Zizzer and Caden went same amount of time on the tires, one with the hards, one on the mediums. That's definitely interesting and telling how people's tire management is. Flyer DJ on the 11. Oh, big little snap there from Flyer DJ. Yeah, like I said, these older tires are just not going to feel great in any capacity whatsoever. So Flyer DJ in this P7. Yeah, so right now a safety car would benefit Jonah so much. Who's going to have to deal with 7. If Jonah can pull off the one stop, I think he has P2 secured in the bag. But that's only if he can pull off that one stop. The 2 kicks are going to be swapping positions. Henry Opstad is going to have that DRS. He's going to continue to just pull away from his teammate on the 11 lap Old Hards. Maybe just hoping to pull him into the pit lane at this point. Maybe give him a little bit of speed advantage. As Panda and Jonah both pull into the pit lane. Panda onto the fresh mediums, and Jonah, I presume, also onto the fresh mediums. Where does 7 come out compared to Panda? It's gonna, 1.5, I think. Seconds back, 1.7 maybe, 1.6-ish. So 7's undercut, I think, would have worked if he did get disconnected. Jonah now having to deal with Henry Opstad. Jonah was running that in that P2 for a while before everyone pit, but now he's in P6. These fresh mediums as Bala gets by Blue Knight. Sorry, I'm just looking for anything because I saw some gaps. But yeah, Jonah gonna be looking on Henry Opstad. He's gonna have the DRS coming into Sector 2. And out of Sector 2 into Sector 3. Here's the move. Jonah going to be trying to go on that inside. Henry not even going to try to defend it. Just going to give him the position. Maybe going to want the DRS on the main straight. That might be the better place to get it. Look at this big long train. Druid, Blue Knight, Bala, and Flower Boy D. All in this big train led by Flower Boy D on the 12-lap Old Hards, who's definitely going for that one-stop. Bala and the Red Bull going to be trying to keep up with him. He's going to have so much of a speed advantage if we watch that Ferrari go wide. Blue Knight going to be having an advantage here on these mediums. I think he went off of the hards, so he might be looking for that one stop or two. His teammate going to be slowing up Bala a little bit. Bala not going to have the DRS. He does not have the DRS here. So Blue Knight, neither of them do. So Blue Knight with the DRS is going to be able to go side by side with his teammate. No, he goes for the late braking, gets past his teammate. Now he's going to look for Bala. As his teammate's going to be fighting with Druid a little bit. That's not where I was looking. What? I swear they were just side by side. I don't know. They were, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of lost. I'm everywhere tonight. But yeah, look at how big this train is. Just Trey behind a boss. And here is not a bot. Also here, you can hear him struggling with his accelerator. I mean, you can hear him trying to get on the power, just not able to. As Panda sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Ryan with a 3-second penalty. Speed going to be heading into the pits off of these 7-lap old mediums onto the hards. So maybe trying to go for a little bit of a risky undercut. He's going to be slow for the last couple of laps of the Grand Prix, but right now this undercut might benefit him so much. Speed was running in P3 at one point, so maybe looking to try to do that. Flower Boy D getting a speeding in the pit lane penalty off the 14-lap old hards. Formula Jonah on the fresher mediums compared to Myrtle Turtle's 6-lap old hards. Gonna be trying to get by him relatively soon. I don't know if it's here that he wants to do it, or if it's gonna be down that main straight with that DRS advantage. But right now, he's going to be getting a very, very nice toe. Going to be letting Myrtle Turtle do all the work right now. Myrtle Turtle does have that spitting in the pit lane penalty, don't forget. And he does have 2 track warnings, so he definitely has to be careful. But Monza's usually not one where you see a lot of them. Jonah going to have so much speed heading into Parabolica. He's going to have this DRS. If he wants, he has battery to burn. Going to be trying to maybe get by Myrtle Turtle soon. Because the more that he sits behind, the more that his tires are going to degrade. Because of the dirty air. Even if it's not going to affect him through corners, it's going to affect his tires. As Myrtle Turtle goes to the left, maybe trying to just create a different line gap as he is going to go for a wider line. He's going to have that overspeed, something that I didn't imagine happening. Jonah's going to lose quite a bit there through that as we're just watching this fight try to unravel, trying to get by. Jonah still just sitting pretty in this Haas. There's yellow flags out. Oh, that's a complete wing gone. Trey gets a 10-second penalty for cutting. Oh, no. Whose wing was that, though? I do wonder. I'm going to try to search for it. Sorry. Who has damage? Druid. Yeah, Druid has some front wing damage, apparently. 20%. As 7 comes into the pits for his second pit stop. I'm trying to look for that damage. I don't see any. But I don't know. Boss going to be getting on closer and closer to Trey. He's going to have the DRS here. This yellow flag's out at the front corner again. That's Myrtle Turtle off. Henry Opstad is going to be getting closer. And Caden's going to be getting closer. These guys have been in a train just about all race. They've been getting really buddy-buddy. Henry Opstad thought about going for a move there. Ducks back in. Now he's going to be trying to go alongside through this corner. Oh, no. Henry Opstad is going to come out in front. Caden going to be P2 and Myrtle Turtle going to be P5. Myrtle Turtle going to be the biggest loser out of all of that. Just not able to hold on to pace here. But Henry Opstad's not going to have the DRS compared to someone like Caden who does. Caden's going to get by. Myrtle Turtle, oh, just watch him go off that track. Going to get that penalty. And now he's just going to sit behind the Cake Sour. We're going to sit behind the Mercedes. And he's just going to save and save. He's going to think about going for a move, but breaks a little early, Myrtle Turtle. So he's going to continue sitting behind Henry Opstad and Caden. Blue Knight, if he burns here, he could try to catch up to Mini C Speed. But Speed with the fresher heart's going to have maybe a little bit more pace. So that's just going to be definitely interesting to continue to try to watch. Here's this pack of not a bot, just bots, and Flyer DJ all going to be really close to each other. Watching not a bot take a definitely weird line. Going to lose him a little bit of time as we're just watching Boss continue to just gain on him. He's going to have this DRS advantage. Watching him burn battery here. He's going to go for a move. How hard is he going to fight that position? Does not. He's going to cut the corner. Oh, Boss. Oh, no. He's going to give all the positions back, luckily. So not a time penalty for Boss for cutting that. Just didn't break enough. Trying to get the corner. Which he definitely had. He just had a little bit of late braking. And that's just not a fun corner to try to break late for. Just a Boss getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits now. Myrtle Turtle still on the back of Henry Opstad. Henry Opstad slowly losing to Caden and that P3, that Mercedes. Someone that we didn't really look at all when making our prediction. But here's Myrtle Turtle on Henry Opstad. He's going to get that position done and dusted with. Henry Opstad's going to be saving the battery here. We can see that blinking light on. If you're new to F1, that usually means that they do not burn battery. And they're saving it. Battery helps the engine go faster, I believe. And so having that, it's like a little speed boost that you can control. Here is 7 on the fresh hard does not about. It's a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Something that seems very, very common here. We're going to cut to the penalties. Caden has one, Turtle has one, Trey has one, Notabout has one, and Flower Boy has one. Just because it's such a weird pit lane, and you're going so fast into it, where it's really hard to judge where you need to brake, even with your racing line on. Here is 7 going to be trying to make the move done on Zizzer. Zizzer not going to have a lot to defend, just because of that DRS is going to be so powerful. And now 7, 5 seconds to Henry Opstad. But Henry definitely does have to pit again. But Caden, I don't think Caden does. And he's caught up to Formula Jonah. Jonah's going to head into the pits. And our Caden's going to be net P2. Behind Red Panda. So Caden going to be on the upcharge just completely in that P2 for the Mercedes. Going to be helping that championship. Myrtle Turtle in P3, 7 in P4, Jonah in P6 as Henry Opstad. So many pits. Yeah, Balla on the 9-lap old hards. Myrtle Turtle's definitely an interesting case here. Because if he can tire safe, he can definitely go to the end on these tires. It's going to be really hard, though. 18-lap old hards at Monza, not going to have any pace whatsoever. So, I mean, it's really just a question of what can he do here? Does he maybe try to last another 2 laps, try to pit onto the sauce, and try to get the biggest advantage yet? Or what's going to happen with that? It's definitely going to be an interesting call. Going to be an interesting strategy to see what he can do. As Panda into the pits for, I think, might be his 3rd pit stop, actually. No, just his 2nd. Yeah, Panda off of the mediums onto a new fresh of mediums. Cabrito going to be getting a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Caden going to be the net leader now, but he does have a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits, which might cost him a little bit. Go back to tires. He might be able to get to the end. Once again, it's going to be one of those cases where it's going to be really close, and the safer bet might be going on to softs. Blue Knight gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Like I said, so easy if you do not practice for it. Druid and this Mercedes is going to be rounding the corner, trying to stick with Jonah. Not going to have it, though. Henry Opstad and Trey. Trey's definitely going to have to pit again. Henry Opstad will be going to the end, but Trey does not have a lot of pace. 11-lap old hards compared to the fresh mediums that are completely warm right now. Gonna lose a lot of time through that corner. Can he make up this time? Can Trey get that DRS? No, he cannot. So unfortunate. It's Ryan Icy getting a time penalty. But I want to watch Panda for a little bit. He might be going for a fastest lap here. We're going to watch and wait to see if he can do something here. Myrtle Turtle is going to be giving him the DRS, going to be giving him a nice fat slipstream. And you can see that battery at the bottom of his wheel that he just has so much saved up. So you can tell that Panda's going for a fastest lap attempt. He already does have fastest lap, I believe, but he's going to be going for another one. But we can't just sit here and watch Panda all day as much as I'd love to. Speed. Going to be trying to get by Balla soon. Balla's tires not going to feel pretty. Neither are Speed's, though. But Speed's are going to feel a little more pretty, I think. Maybe a little touch of lipstick on there. Henry Opstad going to be getting the better exit here. Oh my goodness. Here is Druid going to be losing a position to Henry Opstad. Going to bump into the back of him. I don't know what all that was about, but big yikes. 7 going to be getting closer and closer to Myrtle Turtle. Myrtle Turtle going to be giving everybody DRS, it seems like. Here's Panda. Purple Sector 2 as we join him. Like I said, he's definitely going for a fastest lap attempt. Yeah, here's Panda. He's going to be burning all the battery. Here's Caden in front of him, the net leader right now, as Panda 19.9 with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's faster than some people qualified. Thought about going for a move on Caden here. Thinks better of it, though. Brakes. But Panda on these fresh mediums compared to Caden's 11-lap-old hards, Panda's going to have such an advantage here. It's just a question of where does Panda want to overtake? Because if I'm Panda in this situation, I have two trains of thought, okay? One, overtake him as quick as possible, get on with the race, try to build a gap. Second, wait and get DRS and try to overtake him in a DRS zone where I can push harder. Like right here would be a great place for Panda to try to go for a move. And like I said, he's going to go on the inside. He's going to get that position. He's going to cut back over. He's going to have that position done and dusted. Panda is now our race leader. Speed on this Alpine. Going to have the DRS on Bala. He's going to have the... Oh, so much of an advantage. Does he go for the move? He thinks about it. He backs out, though. He's going to lose a little bit of time as he has to brake harder, trying to not hit the back of Bala. He's going to have the slipstream here, though. Something that he's definitely going to benefit from. And yeah, like I said, some people are pitting to the softs. The softs are going to be a little bit tricky. But I think at this point in this Grand Prix, if you're on hards, it's time to pit. It's time to get onto the softs. It's time to push and push. Time to take away Panda's fastest lap. Speed going to be going on the inside of this Red Bull of Bala. How hard is Bala going to fight it? Not at all, as Speed gets the position up into P5. But Bala, I don't think is done with this position just quite yet. But I think his tires are telling him that he is done with that position. Just a boss in this V-car. Going to be trying to get closer and closer to Flyer DJ. Flyer DJ onto the second lap. It's like 2-lap old hard, or softs. Oh my goodness. Just a boss going to be heading in this V-car. Going to be setting a new best lap, personal lap, boss is he going to have the DRS on, what is up with people not using DRS? Oh, big slip out for Flyer DJ. That's going to cost him so much time. His boss is going to catch up and get a lot closer to him. It's going to be really tight. His boss, go for the move! Oh my gosh! Flyer DJ does not give one Flyer DJ frick as he just bulldozes through boss. Seven and his teammate are going to be close. If I'm 7, right, I'm guaranteed a podium. I'm guaranteed a podium at this point. I help Caden. I help Caden as much as I can in this position. If I can get Caden a podium as well, it's a big day for Mercedes. It's a big day for both of them. A double Mercedes podium would be great. And yeah, Caden just lets him go. Very smart. But now it's up to 7 to push while keeping Caden with him. Because looking at penalties, right now he's in the clear, but he's going to quickly not be in that clear. It's going to be really close. Speed is going to have... He's going to be pushing. He's going to be wanting to get on that podium. You can see it in his driving. It's going to be a far stretch to do that. But he's going to be trying it. I think Ryan maybe had a little bit of a slip-up as there is yellow flags out for him. Here's Boss getting close to Flyer DJ last corner. That was a little bit rough. Here's that gap to the leader. Yeah, I think Seven has been doing a great job of trying to keep Caden with him. So right now he is in that clear, but Speed only has to find 3 seconds. It's only 3 seconds until he gets onto the podium. So it's going to be really tough for him. But we are on the penultimate lap of the race. Flower Boy has been lapped. I think Cabrito is going to be coming up into getting lapped soon. So needy, Andrew. Here's the penalties. Red Panda has shown so much pace here today. I mean, he's just dominated every aspect. Caden, yeah, I mean, Seven is playing fantastical team games. I mean, Caden just has a great teammate. Seven has been doing so much hard lifting work to help Caden push. Caden is on the very old hards, and so having this advantage is gonna help him. It's gonna help Caden push. He's gonna be trying to keep that podium position. A double podium would be great for the Mercedes as we start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Trey and Drew are going to be swapping positions. Definitely an odd choice as Trey does have that time penalty. Zizzer looking to get into the points here. He's going to have that DRS. I mean, Trey, just an unfortunate 10-second penalty for him. Going to be costing him points just in the entirety. Unless Druid plays some mega team games, as he has a little bit of slip up Druid as we're talking about him. Unless Druid can somehow find a way to hold Zizzer up for 10 seconds, I doubt that it's going to happen. But we cut to the man, the myth, the legend, Red Panda 74. A man who had no doubts about winning this race. From like lap 4 of the Grand Prix, he has been dominating every aspect as Red Panda, our Monza race winner, a back-to-back, winning the Monza Grand Prix. Here's Caden and Seven playing the teammate games, pushing himself, and it's a double podium for the Mercedes. Great day for them. Speed is going to be pushing, wanting to get that P4, and he's going to get it. So P4 will go to Speed. Myrtle Turtle will have P5. Bala and P6. Here's Henry Opstad fighting with Jonah at the line. Henry Opstad's going to get it, though. Jonah and P8. Here's Trey. Druid and Zizzer are all going to be crossing. Druid P9, Zizzer P10. Trey P11. Blue Knight and Icy. So unfortunate of a race. He was doing so well. Just unfortunate for him as he's going to cross the line. And P12, Blue Knight, P13. Not a bot. In P14. Going to be crossing that line. He started last on the grid, being able to put himself in P14. But that time penalty, going to lose him a position. To Boss. And Ryan. And Flyer. Flower Boy D got lapped and is in P19. And here's Cabrito crossing the line. So that wraps up our Monza Grand Prix. Red Panda, great win for him, dominating every aspect. Was not able to get the triple W though, as he was not able to set a pole lap. 7 and P2, Caden and P3, Speed P4, Myrtle Turtle P5, Bala P6. One of the kicks in P7. Yeah. So fastest lap does go to Panda Caden, driver of the day. He's definitely my driver of the day. Blue Knight, most overtakes, and cleanest driver is Zizzer. Good job, Zizzer. Yeah, Henry Opstad, P7, Jonah, P8, Druid, P9, Zizzer, P10, Trey, P11, Icy, P12, P13 is Blue Knight, Flyer DJ, P14, Ryan, 15, Boss, 16, Notabot, 17, Cabrito, 18, and 19 is Flower Boy. This has been your Can-Am Tier 3 Monza Grand Prix. I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your week. I'll be back next week with Can-Am Tier 3. I've been Toasty Evan Bread, your host and commentator. I thank you all a great, great night.